Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. So the Steam Lunar Sale is live right now and there are loads of discounts. But today I wanted to focus on something specific. Because there are actually some fantastic indie games available right now for under 10 quid. And I'm not talking about random cheap titles, I mean generally good games with strong gameplay, unique ideas, or loads of content for the price. So I've gone through the sale and picked out 10 indie games just under a tenner that I think are absolutely worth checking out. And also, at the end is a little bonus game that's slightly over a tenner, but honestly it's too good not to mention. First up, we have Brotato. This is a fast-paced roguelike shooter where you're fighting waves of enemies while stacking upgrades and building some pretty ridiculous weapon combinations. Runs are short, progression feels constant, and it's increasingly addictive because you're always unlocking new characters, items, and strategies. It's one of those games where you'll think, I'll just play for 10 minutes, and then suddenly an hour has disappeared. If you enjoy Vampire Survivor style gameplay or quick session roguelikes, this is amazing value. And you can pick it up for £2.39 with 40% off. Ghostrunner is up next. This is a first-person action game focused heavily on movement, precision, and extremely fast combat. You die quickly, but respawns are instant, so the gameplay becomes about mastering routes and timing rather than brute force fighting. Once you get into the rhythm, it feels incredibly satisfying. If you enjoy skill-based gameplay or that cyberpunk feel, this is a great pickup during the sale. It's 75% off and will cost you £6.24. Then we've got Balatro. This one really surprised me. You know, this was one of these games that just exploded onto the scene and everyone seemed to love. It's a poker-inspired roguelike deck builder that becomes incredibly addictive once you start stacking multipliers, synergies, and modifiers. It's really easy to lose hours in this game without realising it. You also don't really need to know how poker works, I guess. You'll just learn from it as you play. And if you enjoy strategy roguelikes or deck building mechanics, this is one of the best indie games you can buy right now. It's 20% off, it's a smidge over a tenner, it's £10.23. This was mentioned a little bit earlier, Vampire Survivors. You cannot talk about roguelikes without mentioning this game. This is one of the most addictive indie games of the last few years, and for the price during a sale, it's honestly ridiculous value. It's a roguelike survival game where you're fighting off waves of enemies while constantly stacking upgrades, abilities, and combinations that eventually fill the screen with chaos. Runs are simple at the start, but very hard to master. There's also a surprising amount of unlockable content once you get into it. If you enjoy this type of game, you will love this one. It's an easy recommendation. It's 20% off and yours for £3.19. Not for broadcast is a really unique concept. You're managing a live TV broadcast, switching cameras, censoring content, controlling ads, while your decisions influence the story. It's basically part simulation, part narrative game, and it does something generally different compared to most titles. Acting is brilliant, the comedy's there, the way it feels like you're actually taking part in a TV show. Like when nothing's happening or the ads are running, the characters are still speaking, talking and doing stuff. Honestly, it is so good. It doesn't look it, it's hard to explain, but it is so much fun. And if you want something unusual but well executed, this is definitely worth checking out. It's 75% off and it's yours for £5.24. Next up we have Assetto Corsa Competizione. If you enjoy racing games or simulation experiences, this is easily one of the most realistic options available, and right now, it's on sale. The driving model here is really focused more on simulation. Things like tyre grip, brake and car balance and track conditions all matter, which makes learning the handling incredibly satisfying once it clicks. You also don't need a steering wheel, it's perfectly playable with a controller once you get the settings right. There's also a strong sense of progression through improving lap times, mastering tracks and learning how different cars behave. Visually, it still holds up really well with dynamic weather, night racing, and detailed car interiors. It's currently 75% off for £8.74. Airship Conquer the Skies is a creative strategy sandbox where you design flying war machines and test them in combat. It's definitely more niche, but if you enjoy building systems, experimentation, and strategy mechanics, there's a lot of depth here. This is the kind of game that really rewards creativity. Some of the contraptions you come up with, honestly, will blow your mind. You'll be choosing weapons, armor types, structures, equipment, and resources, near endless combinations. And then you'll take it into battle and generally get blown apart. You can also hunt as well against giant aerial krakens, not sure how that works, and mechs. It's honestly such a fun little game. It's currently 60% off and it's yours for £8.39. Next is Torchlight II. This is a classic action RPG with loot progression, skill builds, and a lot of replayability. Even years later, this came out in 2012, which I just couldn't believe. It still holds up really well. Mod support is there, which will add more longevity if you want it. For this price during the sale, it's honestly fantastic value. It's yours for 80% off at £2.99, and you will get many, many hours out of this. Oxygen Not Included. This is a colony simulation game with incredibly deep systems. You're managing oxygen, temperature, resources, automation, and survival all at the same time. It does have a learning curve. This is one of these games when I first loaded it up, I went, I don't like this. I played for like an hour and thought, I'm going to refund this one. But then I kept going, and once it clicks, it becomes extremely satisfying. If you enjoy simulation or optimization focused gameplay, this is a fantastic pickup. It also has fantastic graphics, and the art style and comic book style is really good. It's currently 70% off at £5.69. And finally, we have that little bonus one. I know this video is meant to be games under a tenner, but I'm going to sneak one extra in that's slightly over the limit, because honestly, it's too good not to mention. Dyson Sphere program. No, it's got nothing to do with them Hoovers. This is a factory and automation game where you're building massive production systems across entire planets, eventually constructing a Dyson Sphere around a star. If you enjoy optimization, logistics, or progression-driven gameplay like Satisfactory or Factorio, this is incredibly addictive. It's one of those games where you'll start playing in the evening and suddenly realise it's 2 AM. So technically, it's slightly over the £10 limit. So these are just some of the indie games under 10 quid from the Steam Lunar Sale that I think are definitely worth checking out. If you found any great deals yourself, let me know in the comments. I always like hearing what people are playing. And also, definitely check GreenManGaming as well, because prices are often cheaper than Steam. Link in the description below. Anyways, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.